Jay Dyer, I'm going to ask you 18 general knowledge questions generated by honest and truthful AI on your specialist subject round, medieval theology, which is another subject that not many people would choose.
Another boring ass subject.
No. That's not in my book. This ain't boring. This thrills me. This is nipple pinching. Anyway, you may sense outrageous AI skullduggery, rich with establishment narrative, and you can extra points by setting the story straight, adding a truth bomb or two along the way. Are you ready, Jay?
Sure.
Let's do it. Question 1. Who was the early medieval theologian known for integrating Neoplatonism with Christian theology in his work, The Consolation of Philosophy?
Boethius.
Who knows this? Jay, who knows this?
That's a really famous text. So
okay, yeah, no, okay. I also knew it. I'll tell you now. I knew it. Have you got any truth bombs about Boethius, the coolest guy in town?
Honestly, no. That one I don't have a truth bomb on.
Okay. I'll give you the point. Here we go. We go on to the next one. That's good. I'm fine with that. What is the name of the theological method developed by Peter Abelard that involved presenting opposing viewpoints to stimulate debate?
The term, I don't know if it's specific to him, but it's the alenctic method.
No. I was looking for
question and answer.
Sic et non.
Okay,
is what I was looking for.
Okay.
No. Okay. Next one. Which medieval theologian wrote City of God to defend Christianity against pagan criticisms? 2 points directly to Jamie immediately for ridiculing her husband in such a way.
Ridicule me. Actually, this hat's supposed to go this way. So the answer is St. Augustine wrote The City of God, and Truth Bomb. That book is a really fascinating history of the pagan world and then the post-Christian Roman world that deals with the people of God from the Old Testament all the way up into the Christian church.
That's a brilliant truth bomb. Brilliant. You knew it. Yes, it's Augustine of Hippo. An excellent 2 points there. What term describes the medieval belief that the bread and wine of the Eucharist become the body and blood of Christ?
Transubstantiation.
Yeah, it is. Of course, everyone knows it. And do you know what it is in French?
I do not.
Transubstantiation. That's it.
Okay. So just say it. Just say it gayer, and it's the French way.
A transubstance. Yeah, I can't do it. That's too hard. I can't even say it in English, to be honest. So there you go. You get the point there. Have you got any truth bombs about transubstantiation?
I don't know.
No one does. Who was the 11th century Archbishop of Canterbury who wrote Why God Became Man to explain the incarnation? You know this one.
Yeah, we just said it. Anselm of Canterbury, and it's Cur Deus Homo.
Oh, is that a truth bomb there? Do you want to add in a bit? Yeah, that's a little bit of detail. Do you know anything else about
the Latin title of the book is Cur Deus Homo, Why God Became Man. Yes.
Okay. I'll accept. I'll give you a point for that. It was very good. And you're wearing a hot dog on your head. Which medieval theologian is known for his Summa Theologica, a comprehensive work on Christian doctrine?
Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, you were always going to get this one. No, any interest in facts about Thomas Aquinas? Anything about his girlfriends or anything? Any bad stuff?
Well, he was known as the dumb ox. He was a big old fat dude, and his master was a proponent of alchemy, although Aquinas wasn't interested in that. His master was Albert Magnus. He's the most famous Roman Catholic philosopher. Leo XIII said that Thomism is the official philosophy of the Roman Catholic Church, but interestingly, the Roman Catholic Church no longer cares about Thomism. So,
wow. Okay, that's a good truth bomb. It's like a selection of truth bombs, to be honest. It was a bit of a scattergun.
This
Liked it.
is his Summa right here. So the book you referenced is right here.
Ooh. Oh,
blue book.
nice. Okay, well, I gave John Clydecheck a point for pointing at a John Kenneth Galbraith book a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, there you go. You get an extra point for doing that. Right. Who was the 14th century English theologian who criticized the church's wealth and promoted vernacular Bible translations?
14th
century.
Well, there were a few at that time. So say it one more time. Read the question one more time.
Who was the 14th century English theologian who criticized the church's wealth and promoted vernacular Bible translations?
Wycliffe?
Yes, old John himself.
John
Big bad John Wycliffe. Indeed, correct. Okay. What is the name of the mystical text attributed to Pseudo-Dionysius that influenced medieval theology with its hierarchical view of the
celestial hierarchy?
Bloody hell.
It's also right over there on that shelf. So
I'm not going to give you an extra point for pointing off camera. How can I possibly believe you could just point anything? Oh, that's on that shelf over there. Too. And over there, I got a shelf with everything on. Yeah, very nice.
All right. Well, how about if I pull out a version of it right here?
So that's excessive. Okay, you have a point. Stop hitting me in the face with knowledge, man. Okay, good. Which theologian? They love this. AI is really getting you on the which theologian line. Defended the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist against Ratramnus in the 9th century. If you get this, I might actually cut off one of my balls live on Truth Bomb.
It's Ratramnus of Corby. I know this dispute. Can you restate it one more time?
Okay, no, not even my balls on the line. Which theologian defended the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist against Ratramnus in the 9th century?
That's in the Latin West in the 9th century, and that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's just in the book behind you over there, and in front of you, and on the side of you, and above you. All the books.
I'm gonna say Isidore.
Oh, thank God for that. No, Paschasius Radbertus.
Dang it.
Who saved me one testicle there. Well done. Whew. But you get that's good. That's good. So you've got any truth bombs related to that at all? No.
That one was an obscure one, so I know that subject pretty well, but that one, you got me on that one. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that one's obscure. Okay. What is the name of Augustine's doctrine that humans inherit sin from Adam's fall?
Original sin.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Easy one. Okay, and any truth bombs about original sin?
Not really. I mean,
Garden of Eden.
Well, I would say the Orthodox Church disagrees with Augustine's view. So the Augustinian view dominated both the Latin Roman Catholic West and the Protestant West, but the Orthodox Church doesn't believe in original guilt, which is, I think, a key element of Augustine's view.
Excellent. Okay. Do you think original sin is a thing?
In the Orthodox view, which is a much more tempered view than the Augustinian view. So we would say that Adam's sin produced mortality, but we're not guilty for Adam's sin.
Okay. And that's what you would believe personally?
Yeah, that's the Orthodox Church's view as opposed to the Latin, Western, Protestant, Catholic view.
Okay. I give you a truth bomb point for that too. Which 12th century theologian was condemned for his rationalist approach to the Trinity of Theologia Scholarium? I'll repeat
what
it.
Century?
Which 12th century theologian was condemned for his rationalist approach to the Trinity in Theologia Scholarium.
Probably Occam.
No, it was
Okay.
Peter Abelard.
I knew it was either Abelard or Occam. Yeah.
Oh well, I will accept truth bombs still if you've got any.
Well, Occam is the father of nominalism, so you get all of the later stuff that we talked about in the first round with nominalism and modernity out of William of Occam's medieval nominalism.
Okay, I will accept that as a truth bomb point. I like a little bit of extra knowledge. What term describes the medieval belief that salvation depends on both divine grace and human cooperation?
Well,
Get a feeling
in the Orthodox Church, we use the word synergy or synergism.
Correct. I'm
okay.
gonna stop you from getting the wrong answer and going to a wrong answer and just say, yeah, synergism. That's good. Okay. Next, which 14th century mystic wrote Revelations of Divine Love, the earliest surviving English text by a woman? Would you believe it? What a woman. The 14th century with a pen. Heretic. No wonder that a couple of centuries later, you've got Mary Tudor burning everybody. Out of control.
What century? 14th?
14th century mystic. Ooh.
It's either Julian of Norwich or Hildegard of Bingen. Julian?
Yes, it's Julian of Norwich. It is Julian of Norwich. She must have been quite a girl back in the day. I get a feeling she might have been a strumpet, but, don't hold me by that. Who was the other lady you mentioned?
The other famous medieval female mystic is Hildegard of Bingen, and then there's Gertrude the Great. But she's German. So if you said English, did you say English? Norwich.
Yeah, English text.
Yeah, so it has to be Julian of Norwich. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, well, I'll give you a truth bomb point for the extra details again. I do like a bit of this. Who was the 11th century theologian who debated Berengar of Tours over the nature of the Eucharist?
Berengar of Tours. What century?
11th century. Is a Norman invasion.
Read it one more time.
Who was the 11th century theologian who debated Berengar of Tours over the nature of the Eucharist? I can tell you that.
I'm going to again say Occam.
No, Lanfranc of Beck.
Oh.
These were people who actually hung around with Jordan B. Peterson's relatives back then.
Lanfranc, okay.
Jordan B. Peterson is actually related to Helena de Falaise, who was the mother of William the Conqueror by two different lines.
Interesting.
Which medieval theologian was known for his principle of Occam's razor, advocating? Yeah, there you go.
The nominalist.
Okay. And do you want to add anything more about? You've already given a little bit, but you can. If
I don't have any extra information on that.
So you just get correct for the answer. We've got 3 left. What term refers to the medieval theological debate over whether grace is irresistible or can be rejected?
I mean, Molinism is one of the terms used. Synergism, Augustinianism. I mean, this one's kind of vague because there's a lot of terms that relate to this debate. Compatibilism.
Sometimes with AI. Do you want to know?
Read it again.
It's predestination.
Oh, okay.
I know. That's evil.
That was a little too obvious. Okay.
What is the name of the medieval theological school that emphasized rigorous logical analysis of doctrine?
Scholasticism?
Yes, yes, very good. Anything on scholasticism that you want to add?
Well, I mean, again, like truth bomb here is that the AI, you can tell, is kind of vague because you could have a lot of different schools that did that within the domain of scholasticism. So Thomism did that. You could have Augustinianism doing that. There's a lot of schools that do that, but I guess the broadest term would be scholasticism.
Yeah, definitely is excellent. That's a good truth bomb as well. I say looking at the AI is one of the things we should be doing on this show. This is the point of it. And the last question here: which 13th century theologian argued that the Virgin Mary was conceived without original sin?
Bernard of Clairvaux.
No, it was Duns Scotus.
Oh, John Duns Scotus. Okay.
I have to say though, out of that round, I would have got absolute zero, and I think most of the people watching at home would. And to be honest, I doubted. You know, when I'm choosing the questions, I doubt. I wonder whether the people.
I should have specified not so much Latin. I'm more of a Byzantine medieval. I should have said Byzantine medieval stuff, but I knew a decent amount. But yeah, that was good.
The specificity, to specify and to become specific in these and get really a specialist subject, which is really your main field of expertise, is quite hard to work out until you've played the game, I think, and you did very well. So can you give me one final truth bomb on medieval theology to tie off the round succinctly and get an extra point?
Well, here's the truth bomb. In the West, we are dominated by medieval Latin theological ideas and scholasticism, and we don't know anything about Byzantium. So the Christian Empire Byzantium, which was an empire that forbade usury, stands out as, I think, an ethical example that in the Latin West, you had the papacy already, for example, okaying the use of usury when you had the forbidding of that throughout Byzantium. So there's a lot of Christian principles and ethics that I think are suppressed because we never learned about Byzantium in the West.
Excellent. And yeah, we should have. That's a brilliant, excellent truth bomb to end around. And I will say, my producer here said transubstantiation was suspended during COVID-19. True. Excellent. Okay.